season, deciding between candidates is hard enough, but voters in one Arizona community say that they have an entirely different concern. That's figuring out whether a candidate running for state senate actually lives in their home district.
Only on 12 News, journalist Joe Dana traveled to LD 25 to find out.
A road trip to southwestern Arizona. Destination, the truth. Where does Gary Garcia Snyder live?
Are we America first?
Snyder's own words only cause confusion. At this February rally posted on YouTube titled "Take Our Border Back Yuma," Snyder said he was a candidate for District 25, which includes Yuma. But Snyder also told the crowd this.
I live at the border, which is San Luis, Arizona.
The city of San Luis is where records show Snyder has listed his home address and used in a previous election cycle. A property in his wife's name more than a decade, a place where neighbors say he's lived for years. Snyder's official state candidacy forms state he lives not in San Luis, but at an address in Yuma.
I do have a concern about where he lives.
There are few as invested in the Yuma community as Phil Townsend, Citizen of the Year and former chair of the local Republican Party.
All of a sudden, he's running in the district that I live in and claims to have moved. I don't know whether that's true or not.
I drove to both homes Sunday afternoon, first San Luis. No one answered, but in the driveway was this car with a license plate of AZ Rep 25. Remember, Snyder is running to be a District 25 representative. And again, this house is not in the 25th legislative district. I then drove nearly 40 miles northeast to Yuma, where Snyder now claims to live based on his candidacy forms. Public records show that address is owned by a relative of Snyder. Does he live here? Mm-hmm. A woman identifying herself as Snyder's mother met me at the door. She told me Snyder was visiting Phoenix at the moment and therefore unavailable. When I told her I was just at the house in San Luis and saw a car with this license parked out front, the woman said Snyder's wife and 2 kids live at the house in San Luis. However, that's not what Snyder wrote on the state candidacy forms, stating his wife and 2 minor children live with him at the house in Yuma. Snyder won't respond to our repeated requests for comment.
They're legitimate questions. You need to answer and respond.
For Townsend, it's a feeling of not again.
It's happened here in this district twice before.
After Republican Don Shooter of Phoenix was expelled from the House in 2018,
I've done stupid things.
Shooter tried to come back in the next election using a Yuma apartment address. A judge ruled there was conflicting evidence, but enough to support Shooter staying on the ballot. He lost the election. In 2012, Republican candidate Darren Mitchell listed a friend's empty house within the district as his primary residence. Evidence submitted in court showed little furniture inside and a mattress on the floor, prompting the nickname
Darren Mitchell, our mattress.
This Republican primary race includes incumbent Michael Carbone and challengers Nick Cupper and Steve Markegard. Property records do confirm they have home addresses inside District 25. 2 of the 4 candidates will move on to the general.
When you represent this district, you come home on the weekends to this district, you go to church, you go to the restaurants, you go to the grocery store. I want a representative close to the people. That's the idea of a citizen legislature.
A candidate could challenge Snyder's residency in court. Townsend said he expects that to happen, but it has not. Primary ballots go out next Wednesday.
All right, so Joe, the big question is, how does the law define residency?
2 points about that. 1, the law states a candidate must fill out a nomination paper giving the person's actual residence address. Well, courts have ruled there's some flexibility about how this is defined. Plaintiffs must prove there is a clear and convincing evidence a candidate does not actually reside where they claim. Second, if you go to the nomination paper Gary Snyder filled out, Snyder declared under penalty of perjury he lives in Legislative District 25, quote, for 1 year before the election. That means at least 1 year. Remember, Snyder is seen on that rally video as recently as February telling the crowd he lives in San Luis. That was well within a year of the election. However, the courts have also ruled a second home can be considered a residence. Back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you.